At this time, we will have Claire Cotton. Claire is a second-year medical student. Claire will present on the topic of herd immunity, the key to fighting burnout. Let's welcome Claire to the stage.
Imagine dedicating over a decade of your life towards rigorous training and education for a career, only to find yourself questioning your choices. This is the unfortunate reality for many physicians in the U.S. Shockingly, as of December 2022, only 57% of physicians said that they would choose a career in medicine again if given the choice. Why is this? Hi, my name is Claire Cotton, and I'm a second-year medical student here at the Medical College of Georgia. And although I'm still early into my career towards becoming a physician, I've frequently heard the term burnout in wellness lectures, from peers, and even practicing physicians. And although the term is typically associated with medicine, it's important to recognize that individuals in any high-achieving field can fall victim to it. Today, I'd like us to address 3 key questions. What exactly is burnout? Why are individuals in high-achieving fields more susceptible to it? And finally, how does identity influence our resilience to burnout? At its core, burnout is a state of physical and emotional exhaustion, often accompanied by feelings of depersonalization and reduced personal accomplishment. And it's closely tied to our sense of self. Conversely, resilience is our relative immunity to burnout. So factors that can augment resilience include things like perseverance, learning from adversity, self-efficacy, and seeking help from others. And although physicians have significantly higher rates of resilience than the general population, they have much more substantial rates of burnout. What accounts for this disparity? I believe that medicine and other high-achieving cultures promote a unique relationship between personal identity and work that contribute to higher rates of burnout. Because unlike most professions, physicians and other high achievers experience a deeper mixing of personal and professional identity that is not seen in other professions. And for example, this would be something like a physician, instead of referring to them as someone who practices medicine, they call themselves a doctor, with their job being a core part of their personal identity. And this is further compounded by a lack of extracurricular time these professions allow to explore other interests and hobbies outside of work. In fact, in a recent study of how not working affected physician identities, researchers found that physicians struggled with inhabiting what is called the sick role and had negative views of their identity as being a patient. And being away from work, especially for mental illness, left many feeling lonely and isolated, with one physician saying, "Once you try and take that doctor persona out of me, there wasn't much left." As you can imagine, it would be much harder to deal with burnout in your job if you viewed it as a personal failure. So what can we do to help high achievers develop healthy, separate professional and personal identities and increase their resilience to burnout? As I mentioned previously, one of the key ways you can increase resilience is through seeking out help from others. And research has shown that peer support of physicians, as opposed to support from other authority figures or managers, is a great potential intervention for burnout, because these conversations help with the affirmation of one's identity. And furthermore, peer support was shown to help with processing emotions and developing empathy. And conversely, resident physicians who had higher rates of loneliness tended to have more significant burnout. Lastly, burnout does not occur in a vacuum. It's important to recognize it as a process that occurs, an individual process that occurs within the context of a group, right? And so, in fact, physicians reported that their greatest barrier to reaching out for help was the fear of letting their colleagues down. So what if we can foster stronger relationships between peers and a more candid environment for these discussions to help ease this burden? And although there's no quick fix solution to burnout, unfortunately, and there are major systemic factors at play outside the individual, I hope you'll walk away with a better understanding of what exactly burnout is, why your choice in your career may make you more vulnerable to it, and that you can personally fight burnout by building herd immunity through conversations with others in your field to help you shape independent, separate, personal and professional identities. Thank you.